I was standing at the altar, holding my 6-month-old son in my arms, when my mom took the microphone from the priest and started talking about my sister's career instead of my child. Not about Ethan, not about the day, not about family. She lifted the mic like she'd been waiting her whole life for this performance and said, "Before we continue, I just want everyone to know how proud I am of my daughter, Claire." And that was the second my heart sank and my blood boiled at the same time. Because this wasn't just a random slip. This was years of being invisible, happening again in front of everyone I loved. My wife's fingers dug into my arm. People shifted, confused. Claire smiled like she was on a red carpet. And when I finally took the microphone back, I didn't just stop my mom's speech. I changed every single relationship in my family. But to understand why that moment broke me, to understand why I said what I said next, let me take you back to where this all really started. Growing up, if you had walked into our house, you would have thought I was an only child's cousin. I was there physically. I did the chores, took the trash out, got good grades, got myself to soccer practice. But the photos on the walls, the stories told at dinner, the big emotional reactions, all centered on one person. My younger sister, Claire. She was the star, the gifted one, the one my mom always said was going places. I still remember one night at dinner. I was 13, Claire was 10. I'd just gotten an award for top marks in my math class. I said, a little proud, "Hey, I got first place in the math competition today." My dad smiled. "That's great, son." My mom barely looked up from her plate. "Uh-huh, Claire, did you show Grandma your recital video yet?" Claire perked up. "Oh, Mom, play it again." My award certificate was still on the table. No one asked to see it. My mom got up, put the DVD in, turned the lights off, and watched my sister's recital for the 5th time that week. I remember staring at that TV screen, seeing the glow on Claire's face, and thinking, oh, okay, this is how it is. If you were me, what would you have done? Complained? Fight? I did the opposite. I made myself smaller. The older we got, the worse it became. When Claire forgot her homework, my mom rushed to school to drop it off. When I forgot mine, my mom said, "You have to learn responsibility somehow, Daniel." When Claire cried because a teacher criticized her, my mom booked a meeting with the principal. When I had a problem, Mom said, "Just toughen up, life isn't fair." That part, at least, she was right about. After high school, I did the boring thing. I went to community college, studied business, started working at a small warehouse. I got promoted, learned the ropes, saved money. No one bragged about it. Claire went to college out of state to major in theater. The day they dropped her off, my mom cried so hard she had to sit in the parking lot for an extra hour. "She's going to be a star," Mom kept saying, wiping her eyes. "My special girl." On the way back, my dad glanced at me in the rearview mirror and said, "We're proud of you too, you know." I nodded. "Sure." But you know when someone says something because they feel they should, not because they really thought to say it themselves? Yeah, that. After a year, Claire called home crying. "I hate my school. The theater program is political. Nobody appreciates real talent. I want to transfer." My parents dipped into their savings to pay the penalty fees. New application, new deposit, new apartment. When I asked if they could loan me a bit so I could buy a used truck for work, my mom said, "We just don't have the money right now, honey. You're young, you'll manage." That was the pattern. Claire's choices were investments. My needs were expenses. Tell me honestly, if you were constantly the backup plan, how long before resentment started piling up? Things changed for me when I met Lena. I was 27, she was 25, and she walked into the logistics office as an HR hire. Dark hair in a bun, straight posture, eyes that looked like they saw right through your excuses. We started going out for coffee, then actual dinners. She'd ask gentle questions about my family. "So tell me about your parents. Are you close?" I shrugged. Yeah, I guess. They're really close with my sister." "What does she do?" "Acting, or trying to." That's when I told her about the piano recitals and the recital DVDs and the college transfers and the truck I never got. She frowned. "And what about you? What did they support you in?" I laughed. "They gave me life," I joked. "That's something." She didn't laugh. "That's not normal, you know," she said quietly. "That level of imbalance." I shrugged it off. "Years of training. They just see her differently. She's emotional. They respond to that." Lena shook her head. "No, they choose to respond to that." That sentence stayed with me. By the time Lena and I got married, I'd left my job and started my own small logistics company with a friend. It wasn't glamorous, it didn't sound impressive at dinner parties, but it was steady, and I'd built it with my own hands. The night before our wedding, we had a family dinner. My parents, Lena's parents, a few close friends. My mom clinked her glass to make a toast. "I just want to say," she began, eyes watering already, "I am so proud of the man my son has become." I actually felt my chest warm. Wow, she's gonna say it. She's actually going to see me. "But," my mom continued, turning to Claire, "none of this would be the same without his amazing sister, who flew all the way back from LA, even though she's so busy with her auditions." She went on for 2 minutes about how brave Claire was, the sacrifices she'd made, how famous she was going to be. Lena's jaw clenched. She caught my eye under the table, her hand sliding over mine, thumb rubbing my palm like a warning and a comfort at the same time. Later in our room, Lena said, "I'm going to say this once, and you can get mad at me if you want, but your mom is obsessed with Claire, and it's not healthy." I sighed. "You're not wrong, but confronting her will just cause drama." "And letting it continue?" she asked. "What does that cause?" I didn't have an answer yet. 2 years into our marriage, Lena got pregnant. When we saw the positive test, we both cried. I held her shoulders, forehead pressed to hers, and I remember saying, "We're going to do this differently. Our kid will never wonder who they matter to." We called my parents that night. My mom shrieked, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be a grandmother." For a brief second, I thought, maybe this will be the thing that rewrite to everything. But even in that first call, after 3 minutes of excitement, she said, "I can't wait for Claire to be an aunt. She'll be the fun one." I laughed awkwardly. "I think Lena and I will be pretty fun too." Of course," she said, already distracted. "You know, this will give Claire so much content for her social media too. Babies get great engagement." I stared at the phone. Content, engagement. She was already turning my child into a prop in my sister's narrative. Would that bother you, or would you shake it off? I tried to shake it off. Ethan was born on a stormy Thursday night. The rain hammered on the hospital windows, the fluorescent lights hummed, and his tiny cry cut through everything like a siren in my soul. I held him, wrapped in a blue blanket, and my chest ached with a love I didn't know my body could physically contain. "I'm your dad," I whispered. "I've got you. I swear, I've got you." Lena, exhausted but glowing, watched us and smiled. "He has your nose," she murmured. My parents arrived the next morning. My mom rushed in with balloons and a camera, hugging me briskly before immediately circling to the bassinet. "Oh, look at him," she squealed. "So cute. Oh, Claire is going to die when she sees these pictures. This will be so good for her page." There it was again. Within 10 minutes, my mom FaceTimed Claire, holding the phone up over my newborn's face. "Smile, baby, your aunt is on live." I gently lowered the phone. "Mom, can we not stream my son on the first day he's on the planet?" She rolled her eyes. "Don't be dramatic. Claire's followers will love this. It'll help her algorithm." Later, when my mom went downstairs to get coffee, Lena looked at me and said, "I need you to hear this. If you don't set a line now, this is going to get a lot uglier later." I nodded. I knew she was right. But some habits go deep. I still felt like that 13-year-old with a math certificate no one wanted to see. About 2 months after Ethan was born, I got a call from Claire at 11:43 p.m. "Dan," she said, voice shaking, "I need help. Please don't freak out." That's never a good opening. I went into the living room so I wouldn't wake Lena or Ethan. The house was dark, the only light from the street lamps outside, making weird shadows on the wall. "What's going on?" I asked. She sniffed. "You know that commercial I booked? The big one, the union one?" "Yeah? Well, my agent, he fudged some paperwork, like income stuff, eligibility, and now there's this union rep asking questions, and if they find out, I could get blacklisted." My stomach dropped. "Blacklisted? As in, done, no more work?" "Pretty much," she whispered. "But there's this guy who says he can fix it, like make it disappear. But he wants to be paid, and I don't have it, and I can't tell Mom because she'll lose it and blame me, and..." "How much?" I asked. She named a number that made me sit down. "Claire," I said slowly, "that's not pocket change." I know, she sobbed. "But you have a business, right? You're doing well, right? Please, Dan, I'll pay you back. If this gets out, my career is over before it really starts." You know that moment where your loyalty and your principles collide? Yeah, that. If I said no, she could lose everything. If I said yes, I'd be cleaning up a mess built on lies. In the end, I did what I always did. I protected the family. But this time, I protected myself too. "I'll help," I said. but this is a loan, not a gift, and we're putting it in writing." She sniffed. "Okay, anything. Thank you, you're saving my life." We drafted a simple agreement. I wired the money. I saved screenshots of every text, every email, the contract, the bank transfers. Not to blackmail her, not because I wanted leverage, because something deep inside me, that small ignored kid, whispered, "Do not let them rewrite this story later." Fast forward 4 months. Ethan was now chubby and smiley, grabbing my glasses, drooling on everything I owned. I was more sleep-deprived than I'd ever been, but also weirdly happy. My mom called one afternoon. "So we need to talk about the baptism," she said. "We?" I asked. "Yes, we," she replied. "It's a big family event. I've already spoken to Father Marcus. We can book the small hall next to the church for a reception. I thought we could do a slideshow, of family pictures." "That sounds nice," I said cautiously. "And I'd like to say a few words," she added. Alarm bells. "Mom, Lena and I were thinking we'd keep it simple," I said. "Maybe just a prayer and a quick thank you speech from us two." "Oh, don't be silly," she said. "I'm the grandmother. Of course I'll say something. People expect that. I promise, just a few minutes." "What exactly would you say?" I asked. She laughed. "Don't worry, you know me. I'm good at this." That was exactly what I was worried about. That night, I told Lena. She listened, then asked, "Do you trust her not to make it about Claire?" I hesitated. Lena raised an eyebrow. "There's your answer." "We can't ban my mom from speaking at her own grandson's baptism," I said. "That'll cause World War III." She nodded slowly. "Then at least be ready. If she crosses a line, don't just swallow it this time." "What do you want me to do? Snatch the microphone out of her hand?" I joked. I didn't realize that was basically a prophecy. The day of the baptism was crisp and bright. Sunlight streamed through the stained glass in streaks of red and gold. The air smelled like old wood, candles, and faint perfume. Ethan was in a tiny white outfit Lena had picked, looking like a very confused angel. People arrived in waves. My coworkers, Lena's extended family, my cousins. Claire waltzed in last, of course, in a cream dress that made her stand out without looking like she was trying too hard. She was always good at that. She air-kissed my mom, hugged Lena lightly, then squealed over Ethan. "Oh my God, he's going to look so cute in my stories," she giggled, already pulling out her phone. Lena gently lowered her arm. "Please don't post him without asking Claire." Claire pouted. "Relax, it's just a story. It disappears in 24 hours. "That's not the point," Lena said, voice calm but firm. Claire rolled her eyes but put the phone away, temporarily. The ceremony began. The priest spoke about blessings and community. Water over Ethan's forehead, his small cry. Everyone smiling. For a few minutes, everything felt right. Then the priest cleared his throat. "And now," he said, smiling at my mom, "Ethan's grandmother would like to share a few words." My mom stood, smoothed her dress, and walked to the front like she owned the building. She took the microphone, turned to the crowd, and did that little theatrical pause she always did before a moment. "At times like this," she began, "we think about legacy, about family, about the future we're building." Okay, so far fine. "And as a mother," she continued, hand over her heart, "seeing my children become adults, it fills me with pride." She glanced briefly at me, then turned her whole body towards Claire in the front row. "My daughter Claire," she said, her voice warming, "has worked so hard these past few years. The industry is brutal, but she never gave up. She kept going to auditions, kept facing rejection, kept chasing her dream." My stomach dropped. I felt Lena stiffen beside me. "And now," she said, her eyes shining, "she's finally on the brink of something big. She just booked a role that could change everything, a national campaign, maybe even more. I know, standing here, that one day we'll all be watching her on our screens, saying, 'We knew her when.'" Polite, confused claps. Murmurs. Some guests turned to look at me, then at Ethan in my arm, like they were checking they hadn't misunderstood the event we were at. My mom kept going. "And seeing her courage reminds me what I want for all of us. To be brave, to dream big, to support the ones who have that special spark." I don't know what came over me then. Maybe it was 30 years of being edited out of my own life. Maybe it was the way she said special spark, like it only existed in one person. But when I saw Claire stand up and give a shy little wave, like this was her premiere, something inside me snapped into place. Not anger, not rage, clarity. I stepped forward. Very calmly, I walked up to my mom and put my free hand on the microphone. She looked surprised, but didn't let go. "Honey, I'm not—" "I know," I said, "but you should be." The room went dead silent. If you were sitting there watching your own mother hijack your child's baptism to advertise your sister's career, would you have stayed quiet? I turned to the guests, adjusted the microphone, Ethan still in my arm. "I'm really grateful all of you are here," I began, my voice steady. "Today is a big day, not for a commercial, not for an audition, for my son, for Ethan." I paused, letting my words land. "My mom's right about one thing," I continued. "Legacy does matter. What we say, what we celebrate, what we choose to remember." Out of the corner of my eye, I saw my mom's face tighten. Claire's smile had completely disappeared. "And since we're talking about legacy," I said, "there's something I need to clear up, something I've stayed quiet about for a long time." My mom hissed, barely audibly, "Daniel, stop it. Don't you dare." I ignored her. "You all know my sister Claire," I said, gesturing toward her. "You've heard about her sacrifices, her hard work, her big break. But what you don't know is that 6 months ago, she called me in the middle of the night because her career was about to be over before it even started." You could feel the room lean in. "Her agent had forged union paperwork," I said. "Claire was involved in a project that could have gotten her blacklisted if the truth came out." Claire's eyes filled with tears. "Don't do this," she whispered. My mom grabbed my arm. "This is not the place." "Was it the place?" I asked, turning to her, "to talk about Claire's career instead of your grandson's baptism?" The priest looked like he wanted to sink into the floor, but he didn't interfere. I faced the crowd again. And in that moment, my boring little logistics business, the one no one ever really asked me about, was what bailed her out. I paid the money. I took the risk. I made sure our family's name didn't get dragged into something ugly. Gasps, actual gasps. "I didn't tell my parents," I continued, "because I didn't want to deal with the drama, because I didn't want it to become another story where I was the side character and someone else was the hero. I told myself, just help and move on." I looked straight at my mom. "But when you stand in front of everyone I love at my son's baptism and pretend that this entire family revolves around one person's dreams and erase what I've done even to keep those dreams alive, then you're not talking about legacy. You're rewriting history." My mom's face was crimson. "How could you humiliate your sister like this?" she choked out. I shook my head. "No, I'm not humiliating her. I'm refusing to disappear so she can shine." Then I added the twist I knew would change everything. "And since we're talking about legacy, here's one more thing my mom didn't mention. When they were about to lose their house 3 years ago, when the bank was calling and they were pretending everything was fine, I'm the one who paid off the debt. I'm the reason they still live in that house. In fact, legally, I own it." Dead silence. I heard a fork clatter to the floor in the reception hall next door. My dad, who had been quiet in the second row, looked up sharply. He knew. We both knew he knew. But I'd never said it publicly. I kept it quiet because I didn't want anyone to feel ashamed. I didn't need a parade. But I'm done letting the story be that I'm the practical one in the background, while the special one gets all the spotlight, and the truth is conveniently cropped out. I turned back to the priest, who was frozen with the holy book in his hands. "I'd like to finish the ceremony now," I said, "for Ethan, because today is about him, not anyone else." And with that, I handed the microphone back and walked to my wife. Lena's eyes were shining, not from embarrassment, but from something close to pride. She whispered, "I've been waiting for you to do that for a long time." The rest of the ceremony was quiet. People avoided eye contact with my mom and Claire. Some looked at me like I just detonated a bomb in the middle of the church. Others gave me tiny nods, the kind that say, "Good, finally." Afterward, in the hallway, the confrontation I'd been expecting landed right on schedule. My marched up to me, heels clicking on the church tiles like gunshots.
"What the hell was that?" she seethed, keeping her voice just barely low enough to not echo. "You embarrassed me. You embarrassed your sister. You ruined your son's baptism." I held Ethan a little tighter. "I protected my son," I said quietly. "I showed him what it looks like when his father refuses to be disrespected." She scoffed. "Oh, get over yourself. This was not about you. I laughed. I couldn't help it. Mom, that's the problem. It's never about me. It's always about Claire, even today. She's special, my mom hissed. She's always been special. She needs more support than you. You're fine. You're always fine. There it was, the raw truth, finally spoken out loud. I met her eyes. Being capable doesn't mean I'm disposable. She opened her mouth, then closed it. Claire stepped forward, mascara smudged. You destroyed me, she whispered. Do you know what people will think if this gets out? You wanted to humiliate me. No, I said. I wanted you to stop standing on a pedestal made partly out of my money and my silence. Lena came to my side. We're leaving, she said. For Ethan's sake. This is too much. My mom's voice shook now. If you walk out, don't you dare blame me when this family falls apart. I looked at her, really looked at her. The woman who had shaped my entire childhood by who she chose to see and who she chose to ignore. I'm not leaving the family, I said. I'm leaving your version of it. Then I turned and walked out with my wife and son. If you were in my shoes at that door, would you have stayed and smoothed things over? Or would you have walked out too? The next few days were chaos. My phone blew up. A little harsh, don't you think? Finally, someone said it. You should have handled that privately. Your mom needed to hear it. My dad called me late one night. Son, he began, sounding older than I'd ever heard him. That was a lot. I exhaled. Yeah, I know. He was quiet for a second. But you didn't lie. That surprised me. He continued. I should have said something years ago. About how your mother. About how we treated you. I saw it. I didn't stop it. That's on me. I swallowed hard. Why didn't you? Because keeping the peace felt easier than confronting the storm, he said. And I told myself you were strong. You didn't need it. I needed it, I said. My voice cracked. I just never asked. I know, he whispered. And I'm sorry. It wasn't everything, but it was something real. Meanwhile, the thing I'd hinted at during the baptism, the forged paperwork, didn't just vanish into the ether. 2 weeks later, Claire called me, panicking again. They're investigating my agent, she said. Someone else reported him. The union is looking into all his clients. I might still be dragged into this. That sucks. I'm sorry. Aren't you worried? She demanded. I've got my documents, I replied. Everything we did was to correct a wrong, not create one. I was transparent with the lawyer who handled the payment. I'm fine. You don't even care if my career is over, do you? She snapped. I paused. I care that you're my sister, I said slowly. But I care more that my son has a father who isn't constantly fixing everyone else's messes while being treated like background noise. There was a long silence. Then she hung up. I didn't chase her this time. The investigation dragged on quietly. In the end, her agent was disciplined. Some clients stepped forward. Others cut ties. Claire's big role dissolved in legal mess and quiet recasting. There was no public scandal, no tabloids. Just a fade out. My mom called me again during that time. She's devastated, my mom said, crying. Her dreams are slipping away. How can you be so cold after everything she's been through? I'm not cold, I said. I'm tired. Tired of what? She snapped. Tired of being the emergency fund, the secret owner, the silent savior, and still being treated like a footnote. I replied. Tired of my son being treated like a side quest in Claire's storyline. My mom sniffed. You're making this all about you. For the first time in my life, yeah, I am. She was quiet for a long time. Then she asked a question I never expected from her. Why didn't you ever tell me it hurt this much? I let out a bitter little laugh. Because I did. In small ways. Many times. You just didn't hear it. Or you didn't want to. Another long pause. I don't know how to fix this, she said. Start by not pretending it never happened, I replied. Start by not making every event about Claire. Start by learning Ethan's favorite toy before you brag about her next audition. She sighed. Can I come see him this weekend? On one condition, I said. No filming, no stories, no Claire monologues. You come as his grandmother, not as Claire's manager. Okay, she murmured. I can do that. And to her credit, she did. At least that time. Over the next few months, things didn't magically become perfect.
Claire kept her distance. No more midnight calls, no random texts about her big news. My mom still slipped sometimes. Your sister is going through so much. But she caught herself more often. She started asking about my business. How's the company? She'd ask. You said you were hiring more drivers? Yeah, I'd reply, surprised every time. We just signed a new contract with a retail chain. That's big, right? She'd ask, genuinely curious. Yeah, Mom, I'd say, it's big. And slowly, I realized something. I hadn't just taken the microphone from her that day. I'd taken back the narrative of my own life. I stopped downplaying things at work, pitched for a contract I'd been scared to go for, got it, expanded, hired, grew. I poured my energy into Ethan, into Lena, into building a life where my worth wasn't decided by applause or the lack of it. My parents still lived in the house I technically owned. I didn't evict them or demand rent. I didn't need to flex power like that. But I did something more radical. I stopped needing their approval. One evening, about 8 months after the baptism, my mom came over with a small box. We were sitting at the kitchen table, Ethan in his high chair throwing peas on the floor. She slid the box toward me. I found these, she said. I opened it. Inside were old photos. Me at 6 with a science fair ribbon, me at 12 with my math certificate, me at 14 at a soccer game, sweaty but grinning. Why are you giving me these? I asked. Her eyes were shiny. Because I realized I never put them up. I kept saying I would, but the walls filled up with other things. Claire's recitals, I said. She nodded. I can't go back and change that, but I can admit it, and I can start showing Ethan who his father has always been. I didn't say, I forgive you. I wasn't there yet, but I did say, thank you. She smiled sadly. You were never background, you know, she whispered. I just didn't know how to see you and your sister at the same time. That was your job, I replied gently. I know, she said, and I'm trying to do better with him. We both looked at Ethan happily smearing peas into mashed potatoes, completely unaware of the generational trauma healing very slowly around him. Now, when I think back to that moment at the altar, with my mom bragging about Claire and the microphone in her hand, I don't feel shame anymore. I feel relief. Because if I hadn't said something then, I'd still be standing in the shadows of my own life, hoping one day someone would notice me. Instead, my son will grow up watching a dad who learned, late but still, to set boundaries, to speak up, to say, this is my moment and you don't get to hijack it. So let me ask you, if your own mother took your child's special day and turned it into an infomercial for your sibling's career, would you have kept quiet to keep the peace? Or would you have taken the microphone back like I did? Because in the end, that's what this story is really about. Not a baptism, not a career, not a house. It's about who holds the microphone in your life. And I'm done letting anyone else hold mine. Would you forgive them or walk away like I did?